Hey, what are you doing?
Hey everyone, welcome back to Hey, What Are You Doing? We're coming to you from the new pod lab that I like to call it. And to kick it back off, I've got the most specialist guest today, one of my very best friends, Caitlin.
Hi, guys.
Yay. Who decided to leave me a year ago, 13 months ago, I guess, but
It's been a while.
for good reason.
Yep,
So,
definitely.
hello.
Hello.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
I know. Finally, some FaceTime. We need to do maybe not like this more often, but maybe an actual FaceTime
Yes.
instead of like once every 6 months or something.
Get together once. Yeah, we need to do this, but not this. I mean, we can
Yes.
do this if you want to come on all of the time,
Sure. Let's
but
do it. Or however we can get it in, I'm good with.
yeah, so Caitlin and I have been friends for quite some time now. We were like, I guess I would call us acquaintances at first. And then Caitlin, if any of you follow Caitlin or know who Caitlin is, you know that Caitlin is very much a fitness influencer, I would call her. It is her life, and she is very good at it, at what she does. And so I reached out to her for nutrition help around the time of Amy's wedding. And we would do like weekly phone call updates. And after Amy's wedding, our weekly phone call updates turned to weekly margarita updates. And then that turned into all of the time hanging out.
I'm a bad influence once I get to know my clients.
No, it's okay because then we became friends.
Yeah, that was you needed me at one point, and then I think I definitely needed you later on for the
Uh-huh.
margarita.
We
So
needed each other. And so it was like natural how it happened, but I'm glad that it happened.
definitely. And we had even hung out because Kate, who
Hmm.
was on the podcast, is my really good friend from college. And
Hmm.
like you were even birthday at El Maguey once before. I don't even think we had really met, but she's
Nope.
bringing Becca. So we had hung out a few times, I think, but like through other people. So
Hmm.
yeah, it
Yeah,
happened organically.
it did. Those are the best friendships.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
even though she moved away from me a year ago, all the way to one of my most despised states, we've stayed friends. I have not visited her yet. One day I will do it.
That's okay. I understand. I mean, you said I despise that. There is nowhere else that I would rather not go.
Mhm. Mhm.
If, so naturally, that's where I'd go.
Yes. Yes. But in 20 years when the next eclipse comes through and it apparently is coming through all of Florida, I'm sure
Oh,
Sherry will be down there visiting you.
well, hopefully, I don't have to wait 20 years to see you or
Well, no.
Sherry. But
No. But just prepare yourself for
okay,
that.
got it. You guys have a place to stay. No, no problem.
Perfect. Okay, well, we're going to just jump right into it. I don't want to take up, too much of your time today. So, we're going to start off with some fun questions. Did you look at the questions?
I did, but in true me fashion, I read them and then I threw them out of my brain. So I'm
Okay.
not professional, but that's like how I am. So
Yeah. We're going to get real raw answers then, not
yeah,
rehearsed.
yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to start off with some fun questions. If you could swap lives with any character from a TV show or movie for a day, who would it be and why?
This is like my most dreaded question because I don't like super love TV shows or movies. I'm not like really invested, but I do love reality TV and they're on The Challenge, one of my favorite shows. Tori Deal is like one of the best competitors. So I guess if I had to switch for a day or be somebody, maybe it would be her,
Okay.
which is but that's what I'm going with.
I don't know who that is, but I
Okay.
love that for you. I do know you love the challenge, so
Yep.
that's a good one. If you had to only eat one food for the rest of your life, but it had no negative health effects, what would you choose?
Potatoes.
Mhm.
French fries, mashed potatoes, like any form of a potato, I'd be very happy.
I was
But you can spice it up. You can do like different things with them. You
mhm.
know, you could do potato or, plenty of options and it's the same food. So
I thought maybe it was gonna be chips and gringo dip.
Yeah. I think I would get tired of that though.
That's fair because
Maybe.
it's not versatile.
Yeah, but I never say no to chips, so you're or dip, so you are correct there.
But potato chips you could have with dips.
That is true.
I
See?
just
Yeah,
just did that the
potatoes.
other day.
Yeah.
Okay, and then well, you don't watch too much like TV, I guess regular TV, but you do watch reality. But what is your favorite TV show, movie, or book currently?
Currently,
Or all time, whatever you want to talk about is fine.
my favorite movie of all time is I have three,
Okay.
so they're all a little bit different. So I love The Shining,
Mhm.
The Shining scary movie. 51st Dates with Adam Sandler because I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. And then I love Last Dance, which does my husband gives me a lot of shit about because he says it's really lame. So, but I'm going to stand by that.
Get out of here, Des. Oh, those are good
Those three
ones.
are my top movies. Yep.
What's your top TV show? The Challenge?
I mean, overall, probably, I'm sure if I thought about it, I could come up with one that I thought was like the best TV show I've ever seen. I really like Nip Tuck. I've watched that a couple times.
Mm.
It's really old too, but nothing. I'll probably think about it by the time we're done.
Okay, perfect.
It'll pop in my brain and be like, I can't believe I forgot about this one. But yeah, I
You'll
like to
text
watch
me and
TV.
be like, "Can you just
Yeah,
add it in?"
dub my voice and tell people what my favorite TV show is.
The program I use has AI, so I could just use that to clone your voice.
Perfect. Love that.
Make it say whatever I want. That's kind of scary.
That is terrifying. I don't think you would do that to me, but you know, you
No.
never know if it gets in the wrong hands. I don't know.
Annie just sighed real loud. She also agrees that is terrifying. Okay, we're going to get into it then in more in-depth questions.
Okay.
So, in 3 words, how would you describe your current phase of life and what's the main thing filling your time?
In 3 words, I would say balance. Gosh, that's hard. And this is why I probably should have read the questions. Finding, and this is more than one word, but new routines and excitement. Even though I have been here a year down in Florida now, there's been like a lot of life changes, moving in with significant other, quitting my corporate job, and then not having a job. Then now I'm in the fitness space, and that's what's taking up all of my time, which is really cool because that's always what I have wanted. Work for a CrossFit gym now, do like personal training, coaching, remote coaching, and like I get to train there, I get to work there, which is honestly like a dream, but that is where 99% of my brain is at all times.
Mhm. Mhm. But it would be there anyway. So, like, at least you're getting paid for it to be there.
That is true. That's true. And like sometimes, like everybody's, oh, you probably get to work out so much because you work here. It's, yeah, but like my workouts are sometimes interrupted because people be like, hey, I need to cancel my membership or can you
Mhm.
help? Like it's a lot of interrupted time there, which is fine. That's what I'm there for. But at the same time, like sometimes you just want to go home. Like you don't want to work out because you've been there all day. And like,
Mhm.
even though you're not like I'm not getting paid to work out, like I'm still at my place of work. So it's kind of hard sometimes to separate, but at the end of the day, like that's always what I've wanted. So I can't complain.
Yeah. Um, okay. Well, you know, you're doing a lot of things and your life has changed a lot in the last year and a half.
Mhm.
A lot, a lot. So what is a significant goal or dream that you're pursuing and what steps are you taking toward it?
I think in general, just figuring out what makes me happy in both my career and personal life. So, I came from a very corporate, successful job where I made pretty good money and I was very independent and I was on track to do what I was supposed to do, what like the normal adult is doing. And switching gears, going to something that is not commission based, but don't have a steady salary. It is really dependent on how many clients I have at the time. And then also, like in the long term, I'm like, when I'm 50, is this something? Am I going to have gray hair and be coaching CrossFit class? I don't know. So trying to figure out like what that looks like now, and being, not that I'm not happy with what I'm doing now, but it's okay to do something that I really enjoy if it's not what it looks like for most people. So really just trying to find new routines and put myself out there and growing my client base and like getting better as a coach is really what I'm focusing on, at least in my like career right now.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good
If that
one. Yeah. I always every time you post, I'm like, "God, she's really thriving." And I get jealous of you and you're just like go for it attitude. I'm like, I wish sometimes I wish I could just quit corporate life and just do it.
It's definitely nothing to be jealous of. First of all, for anybody like listening or for anybody who follows me on social media, don't be jealous. And you saw the like implosion that kind of led to this life change.
Mhm.
A lot of good with it, but it definitely, there was a lot of like downs as well. But compared to where I was when I lived in Illinois and me and you were friends mentally, so much more at peace. And I think that is more important to me than like where I am on like the corporate ladder, like how much money I'm making or like what everybody else thinks, our friends who are directors and doing all this really like corporate. And it's sometimes it is hard to compare yourself to be like, well, I'm not doing that. Should I be? But like coming from that background and like how miserable I was mentally. Now I'm like, I don't care about any of that. I'm just going to do what makes me happy right now. It might bite me in the ass, 20 years down the road, but right now I'm just chilling and it's good. But there
Mhm.
have definitely been struggles to get to where I'm at now and like still, so it's not perfect. So
Yeah. But you do seem more at peace.
I 1,000%. My hair is growing. I don't know if you've
It
noticed how long
is.
it is, but I'm not
Yes.
stressed anymore that my hair is healthier. I swear that's what it is. And maybe, I don't know, the sunshine or something too. But yeah, I feel much better mentally than I have in a long time. So
And it comes through. You can definitely tell. And I'm very
yeah,
happy for you that
thank
you
you.
got that, even though I wish you were in rainy Illinois right now.
I know. Sometimes, especially during the fall and spring, and like sometimes during the winter, I would see you guys posting. I'm like, oh, I remember what it was like when it's like really cold outside and you get your first 50-degree day. You like feel alive again for the first miss that. And it was kind of like that here in the winter. We had a really like unseasonably cold winter here and it was like gloomy every day. The sun wasn't out and it was still like in the 60s, which is warm compared to what you guys have. But like here it's kind of cold and you're like, I just want one day of sunshine, something. So,
Mhm.
but I do those days or like the first snow day when it snows and you don't
Mhm.
have anywhere, that's kind of nice. But here there's like a pressure that like every time it's sunny outside, and maybe because I'm so new here still, but like every time it's sunny, I feel like I need to be outside. Even if I like just want to read a book on the couch or something, I'm like, no, it's sunny. I have to go outside.
Yeah.
It won't be a thing like 5 years from now, but I definitely feel the pressure to be productive more so than I did back there.
Mm. Maybe that's what we all just need, sunshine.
It does a lot. I swear by it. Does I think things I'm crazy sometimes. I'm like, get outside and just walk around. Get in the sun. It helps. I swear. I swear. If anybody is listening to this, you're having a bad day, just go out in the sun, find some sunshine.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, well, so we talked a little bit about what you're currently doing for your profession. So if you wanna go back a little bit, what inspired you to start your current profession or hobby, whatever one you wanna talk about, and what is one new thing you've learned from it?
What inspired me is 10 years ago, I bought a Groupon for CrossFit, walked into a CrossFit gym, and I was like sold, drank the Kool-Aid, like everything that you would normally hear about crazy people doing CrossFit. Like I fall into that category. And I like I ended up getting my master's degree after I joined the CrossFit gym in exercise physiology and really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. I just didn't really want to I wasn't ready to get a real job. So I just kept going to school, did retail management for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years or something, but decided I had started like getting more into fitness. Like I thought CrossFit was really cool and I like went there every day, but I wasn't like super dedicated or wanted to take it to the next level. And then a few years later, I like wanted to get better at it. And so my coach at the time talked to me about nutrition, and I got really into counting macros. And I found a course online that you can get accredited to be a nutrition coach. And it had helped me so much. And I had such a cool transformation and learned so much that I wanted to help other people do that. And at the time, I was working for Target, which I think I'm your third guest on this podcast, and had the same exact job as all of them. And working like long hours and a retail schedule, working holidays. And I had seen everybody on the internet, like all the Instagram influencers, like talking about how you can build your business and have flexibility in your schedule, and you can travel and work from home and do all those really cool things. And I think I can't remember if it was before or after COVID that I started that. I think it was after COVID. So it was really like people were working from home, and I knew no way in hell was Target ever going to let anybody work from home.
Mhm.
So I just kind of, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to, even if I have a couple clients, like start getting comfortable doing that. So I did remote coaching for a couple of years until basically I got laid off at my job in Illinois. I was going to quit the week after anyway, but I got severance pay, so that was cool. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten that. When I moved here, I worked for a dental office as an office manager, and I was miserable. The first day, I was
Mhm.
like, I like this job. This is not for me, but I thought I'd really love like a 9 to 5. And then eventually, like me and Des talked about it. I was like, I'm just going to quit. I'm just going to quit my job.
Mhm.
I'm going to figure it out. And it's the most irresponsible thing that I have ever done in my life. But I was unemployed for probably 3 months, which was really scary because I was used to making pretty good money. And I was in a place where now I'm relying on somebody else to like help pay the bills.
Mhm.
And um, I had gotten a coaching offer at a different CrossFit gym. And I went to the gym that I was working out at, and I was like, hey, like this gym wants me to coach over there. I don't have a job right now, so I need to take the money because I'm not making any
Mhm.
money right now. But Art is just telling me I need to stay here. And they're like, why don't you come coach for us? And that was it. I was sold. It just fell into my lap, and I took a chance. I'm like, I don't even really know these people that much, but my heart is I need somebody to tell me, no, you should stay here, even if it's for your own like personal training, not personal training clients, but like my own training. And like it ended up just it fell into my lap, and it's been great. Everything I ever wanted. So
Yay. I love that for you.
yeah. Yes.
Lots of
Very down.
yes, yes, lots of highs and lots of lows, but it's working out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
that is great. Okay, going off of that, what is a common misconception about what you do, and how do you manage it to balance this perception with your personal life?
Um, I think a common misconception, and I actually talked about this on my Instagram story not that long ago, but like
Mhm.
that I'm just a CrossFit coach or like just a coach. And it sounds, when I first started doing it, I was like, am I kind of lame? Like I'm 32 years old and I'm like going to be a CrossFit
No.
coach for my career. And you really don't realize, yes, I like lead a class for 60 minutes, and yes, I help people like lose weight and build them up and hit all their fitness goals. But like at the end of the day, what I do can change people's lives. I'm not going to change
Mhm.
everybody's life, but we have 350 members at my gym. So I get to see a lot of different faces and have a lot of impacts. And like that, sometimes when I like leave and I'm like tired or like nobody was listening, I'm like frustrated at the end of the day. But then I have to reflect, and I'm like, I had this one interaction with somebody today, and it was like so meaningful, and I took away a lot. Like now I know like how to have better interactions with people and like what to say, and everybody takes feedback differently too. So every one of those interactions I kind of like store into my brain and learn. But it's really cool. I started in August, so about 8 months into coaching at that gym at least, and I have gained so much knowledge and understanding. We have like I mean, it's the best gym in South Florida. I'll say it if anybody from down here is listening.
What's the
It's just
gym, if you want to tell?
Black Sheep CrossFit. We're in Boynton Beach, Florida, but huge member base, huge facility. When I first walked in there, I had tried out a couple gyms in the area because I wanted to make sure I had a very good experience at the first gym that I went to, and I was there for a long time, and I wanted to make sure my next gym was like a very good fit. And the second I walked in, I was like, I don't need to go anywhere else. This is it. But back to your question, I think A common misconception is that, not that we don't do much, but it's not a very, I don't even want to say rewarding job, or maybe an important job. I'm not, a district manager of Target. I'm not an HR director, like all these fancy things, but what I do makes a difference in people's lives. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, what you're doing really can transform people's entire life. Like
Yep.
I mean, you helped me achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve, and I attribute that to you. I mean, yeah, I
Thanks.
put in the work, but if I
For
didn't
sure.
have you checking in on me, like telling me, adjusting my macros for me, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So,
Yeah. And a lot of it is, you sometimes, especially as a nutrition coach, it can be so sensitive because you're talking about somebody's weight. And most people are looking to lose weight. Not everybody, but a large amount of my clients are wanting to lose weight, and sometimes those can be really tough conversations to have with people. Like, you get frustrated, they're like, I'm not losing any weight. It's okay, well, let's talk about what last week looked like. You went to Mexican on Monday, you went to Texas Roadhouse on
mhm.
Tuesday, you did this, and it's, you're like, I can help guide you, but you have to hold yourself accountable to the actions. And maybe what you're doing, people will be like, oh yeah, I did 100%. And you're like, well, your 100% was actually 60. And you have to find a way to make that constructive, but it can be a really sensitive topic because, that's just how it is. So,
Mhm.
but you can, like, it definitely, learning about macros and nutrition, like, changed the whole entire course of my life, which sounds crazy. But that is what I try to do in my coaching, is just, I would rather people learn, understand the makeups of food, and like how to read a nutrition label. Because those are things that you're like, that's great if you lose weight, but those are things that you can learn way after we work together. And for the rest of your life, you can teach it to your husband. You're not that your kid needs to know all that, but you'll just be much more knowledgeable about what you're putting into your body for forever. So
Yeah. And Caitlin does give a lot of tips and tricks on that kind of stuff on her Instagram. I mean, you can drop it now if you want. I always ask at the end, but I do advise everyone to go follow her on her Instagram. I'll put it in the show notes if you want to give them your handle.
my handle is at Kate Bromfield, Bromfield 15.
Mhm.
I used to post a lot on there, and I honestly am slacking, so I need to get back to doing that. But I'm trying. I'm busy.
Maybe
I
if
always
all the thousands.
Go ahead.
What?
I always text you. I'm like, how do I create content for this? I'm having trouble thinking about what I need to post content for. I'm always hitting Becca up, and I'm like, I know I'm not
Mhm.
paying you, but I need help.
Are you freaking kidding me? I would give you advice I would answer any question any time of the day. I was gonna joke that thousands of people that listen can just go follow you, and then you'll start posting, and by thousands, 5.
That's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, so I'll take 5.
Yeah. Anyway, you have in the past posted, you think this food says non-fat or whatever, so it says you think it's healthy, but it's actually, like, shit.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Don't trust your marketing on your food. Just
No.
because it says high protein, it's probably not high protein, especially if they're graham
No.
crackers. Yeah.
No,
That's why you
don't
need
trust
to,
those marketers.
yes, they're sneaky and they want money.
Yes, we do. Okay. Well, going off of all of that and a lot of life changes, can you discuss a recent achievement or milestone and its impact on your views or life priorities?
Can you repeat the question? A recent what?
Yeah. Achievement or milestone and its impact on your views or priorities.
I think quitting my corporate job, which it's been almost a year now, but that, like I said earlier, was something that was like so scary and like against the grain, that like, you don't quit a job unless you have another job lined up. That's the responsible thing for adults to do. How are you going to pay your bills? And just trust it. I just knew deep down in my gut, I'm like, I have to do this, and I'm going to figure it out. And I know not everybody has the luxury to do that. I had just sold my house in Illinois, so I had some savings, but I also had debts to help alleviate some of the bills. So I wasn't doing it all on my own. So I know not everybody can do something like that, but it has changed my life. I'm happier, I'm healthier, like, just personally, not making more money than I was, not like able to book a trip to Thailand like for next month
Mhm.
without having to like budget for it. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about that stuff right now. Like I'm just
Mhm.
I care about just like being healthier in general and happier overall. And like we talked about, like definitely feeling that, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I don't wake up every day. I'm like, ugh, I have to go to work today
Mhm.
for 10 hours and I have to figure out how to look busy for 10 hours. Like I don't feel any of that anymore.
Mhm.
So it has changed my life and I get to do what makes me happy. So
Yeah. And I love that. And if only everyone, I feel like the world would be a much better place if we all got to do what brought
oh,
us joy every single day.
I know. I truly am like really fortunate, and I think that sometimes like I do take it for granted. I don't remember like what it I do remember because I think I have
Mhm.
trauma from my past job, but I forget
Yes,
about it sometimes.
I'm sure.
I have to go coach on Tuesdays for 3 hours, and I'm like, okay, well, you used to have
Mhm.
to do all this other stuff, you know. So, but I definitely think like just trusting myself and doing what I felt was right was the best thing I could have done.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, well, you along with all of that, you've had some challenges. Obviously, we talked about the highs and the lows. Can you talk about a challenge that you've recently overcome and how it contributed to your personal or professional growth?
The challenges, Jace. I feel like there's a couple. I think in in no way preface that this is a bad thing, but talking about like finances with your significant other, you know, and like when I moved here, like our financial situation was not what we expected it was going to be. So having to go, I went from being very independent, making my own money, own my own home, didn't have to rely on anybody, could really do, I say whatever I wanted, but you know, I just had
Mhm.
to be reasonable. And then to not having a job or something that was bringing in as much money and having to rely on
Mhm.
somebody else as somebody who was once like very financially independent, that was like a hard pill for me to swallow, and like sometimes still is. Like I always wish, like I still work part-time at Target, if I ever want like some extra like dollars, which like I don't even need to do, but it's just like having that sense of security that I used to have is like not there like it was, which like is fine, but
Mhm.
like it was a hard adjustment for me to like, maybe it was like an ego thing as well, like having to like share the burden with somebody else, but it was just so new to me. That was difficult. If what I'm saying makes any
Mhm.
sense. Like
Oh,
now you
yeah.
have to rely on somebody to like help pay bills instead of just being like, no, it's good, I got it. All of me wants to be like,
Mhm.
no, I can do all of it. It's all good. Like I'll pay
Mhm.
for everything because that's what I was used to. So having to find like common ground with finances was kind of hard.
Yeah. I get it. I
Yeah.
am in this exact same position that you were in, and the thought of even someone, like, meeting someone and living with them and splitting things.
Yeah. And then it's, do you
I'm
split
like,
50-50? Have to have those conversations, you know, or who is making the most amount of money right now? Does that mean you do 70-30? I don't know. So, and I've never lived with anybody else before. So I've never had to have those conversations. And I mean, those are always not necessarily tough, but like maybe awkward to talk about at first. And then they're ever changing too
Mhm.
because your job. So it's like a constant conversation that you kind of have to have.
Yeah. Well, and you guys also got to have it quicker than some other people might have had it
Yeah. Yeah. And like I
since
said, it changed like multiple times. Like when I moved here, like then his job changed and then I quit my job and
Mhm.
then got a new job and then I was unemployed, you know, so like the last year now we're finally like Gucci, we're good.
Mhm.
But you always have a plan and then obviously the plan doesn't go to plan. So then you have to reinvent the plan.
Never.
Always. Always.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to have it much faster than other people.
Yeah. Yes, which is great. It's worked out. It's worked out
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Has there been a pivotal moment that impacted your life's path, and how did it shape who you are today?
Shameless plug for CrossFit. Hopefully, if you guys don't do CrossFit now, you're going to after this. Honestly, I'm like, I tell all of my clients, so I get to do we call them like on ramp or foundations classes when you're new and haven't done CrossFit but want to join. We like have you do 5 one-on-one sessions with a coach and teaches you the terminology and the movements. That way because we do have a bigger member base. If we just throw you into a 5:30 p.m. class when there's 25 people, you're going to be like, what is a handstand push up? How do I do a snatch? Where are the barbells at? Like
Mhm.
it can be very overwhelming. So I tell all of my new people, I'm like, you just have to stick it out for 6 months. Give it a shot for 6 months, and I promise it will change your life. It's kind of like when I was in a sorority. Everybody's, you got to do it for a year. You got to give it a year. You're going to hate it at first, but like after a year, you're going to be glad that you don't quit. And like it really, CrossFit has truly changed my life, and maybe just fitness, but like CrossFit was the, is it catalyst is the right word? Maybe.
Mhm.
I don't know. So like what sparked just like my passion for fitness in general, but like my mental space or my mental health has changed significantly since starting. Like I'm just like tougher in a good way. I
Mhm.
used to be very like timid and wouldn't stand my ground. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it unless you've done it. Maybe you can relate, but like that has changed my entire life. Obviously, I wouldn't be in the career field that I am now. Like I went to grad school because of CrossFit. I just found something that I truly enjoy doing. It like kicks my ass every single day, but like I show up and I know I'm not going to be good at something, but I go anyway. And doing that over and over again just makes you like, it translates into your career, into your personal life. Like it makes hard things less hard.
And she always tried to get me into it, and I just didn't do it.
I still think you should do it. I think everybody should do it.
Mm.
And the coolest thing about it is that we have somebody who's 82 that comes to class, and then we have somebody who's
Mhm.
13 that's probably going to go to the CrossFit Games in a couple years. And it's literally anybody can do it, but what I'm doing might just look a little different than what you're doing, but everybody's doing the same thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, everybody should do it. If you're scared, you don't have to be in shape. That's what you start for, is to get in shape. There's no, I have to be this fit before I start. Literally anybody can do it. It does seem
Mhm.
scary though. I know it seems,
I took a
but you
4-hour
did it.
nap after the Murph.
Okay. And that's, Murph is like one of the hardest things. And you did Murph. Like, if you can do Murph, you can do literally anything else. And
Mhm.
you came to another class, I remember. I think you came a
Mhm.
couple times with me.
I did
And
come
you,
a couple times.
yeah,
I'm just more of the pick it up and then set it back down and have
I get it.
0 cardio included in any of it.
I get it. I get it. Trust me. I understand that too. I like a barbell, but I make myself suffer. So
Yeah, I'm currently working on the gym downstairs. I'll show you where it's at. It's in a disarray. Well, one, because the basement flooded a week ago. So, and by
it sounds like
basement,
my,
yeah, and by basement I mean just the gym. So I had to move everything out. But
I
so
mean, you
right
had a
now,
really nice setup at your old place. You had a really nice setup at your old place.
yeah, and I have a bigger room now for it. So I don't know if you can see.
Oh, dang.
And then
That's not,
there's the other side. I'm currently painting the closet. I took the
love
doors
it.
off. So it'll be, yeah, here's the other side. So it's a pretty decent sized room.
Yeah.
That that mat, I think everyone who has helped me move from my townhome to the last house, and then from the last house to this house, everyone hates me. JD told me I'm not allowed to get one more piece of gym equipment until I like have used every single one of the ones I have. And they all were like, "What is this mat?" Cuz I was like, "There's this mat. It's heavy. Like you're gonna need help to move it." And not one guy believed me out of the 4 that were helping. And then they went down there and they were like, there it took four of us
Yeah.
on each corner to carry that thing.
You know, I was thinking about that today because we have holes in the concrete underneath those mats at our, like my gym now. And I was like, why did that never happen at Perfectus? And I wonder if those mats that we had are like maybe so much thicker because that was so heavy.
Yes. And then when it flooded last week and I had to move that mat by myself, I've
Just pull
bruises on my
it.
ankles because I was, like, pulling it and it, like, fell into my feet, and I'm like, "Oh my god." And then last night, like, trying to rearrange the gym a little bit and move that mat, I was like, I don't want wish for a significant other very often, but moving the gym around, I'm like,
Yeah.
where's this man?"
Yes. That I My worst, if I had a worst enemy, like I would give them one of those mats to like a mile ruck with Matt. Good luck.
Oh, it's so heavy, but it was so funny watching like JD and Trent and Nathan like telling them this is heavy and they were like, "Okay, I'm sure." Like you're a girl, you're just saying it's heavy. Then they got down there and they were like,
Oh,
"Mhm."
yeah. Yep. That thing's the worst. I forgot that you had that.
But it's been so nice to have.
Yeah.
Like I want
They
4 more.
I'm sure cuz I think they're just like horse stall mats.
Yeah, they're just like rubber.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't
They're
know if
probably
it was
not
heavy
cheap.
to bet. I don't know. You might be able to find some on Facebook Marketplace. I feel like I've seen them down here, but
Yeah, that's a problem for later on. That's a house
right.
project for not right now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so I mean, you're doing a lot, obviously. You're at the gym, you're working out, you're working there. Sometimes you work at Target. I'm sure there's other things that you've got going on. So, what is a personal project or hobby that you are currently passionate about, and why does it excite you?
I wish I had a different answer other than fitness, but that literally is that's
Yeah,
what I'm living and breathing right now. So this is a fitness episode.
the title will just be fitness.
Yeah. So CrossFit has like a qualifying season for the games or the CrossFit games, which is like the Super Bowl for CrossFit. So we just went through a 3-week qualifier. It's online. If you place in the top 25%, now you get to move on to quarterfinals, which is another harder, typically qualifier, more workouts that you have to do in the span of 4 days. So that starts next week. So I've kind of been like, that's been my passion project is trying to get different gymnastics movements that I've never been able to do and like just really work on getting fitter. Unfortunately, I was sick. I was really sick for like right after the open, the last qualifier ended, and I've been having a really hard time really feeling like back to normal. So I have that next week. And then in June, there's this huge 2-day competition in Daytona. I actually heard about it when I was still living up north for years. And I always thought it looked so cool. I was like, I want to do that. We show up and like 50 to 70 people from our gym compete all weekend. So like we go up there and we show up. So I'm going to be competing in that. There's like an ocean swim normally, which I'm not very excited about.
Oh my god,
Um,
Des
yeah.
watched a
And like,
video I have got to
yeah.
watch.
Yeah, I guess sometimes they've had to cancel the ocean swim part because like the waves or the current or whatever, but there's normally like a
Mm.
beach run and an ocean swim. So that is what I'll be really prepping for the next couple months until June and then it dies off and who knows what I'll be up to after that.
You and June in Florida? So, you're doing a lot of fitness in the ocean and on the beach, and then you also have to deal with that nasty weather.
Yeah, luckily the other events will be inside. They have a convention center or something
Mm,
of the sort. But when I first moved down here, people were like, it was a couple months before, and they would ask, "Are you doing ACC?" Or that used to be called Bacon Beatdown, so everybody still calls it Bacon. But and I was like, absolutely not. I haven't fitnessed in a very long time. I feel, and you guys are all really fit, so this is scary. I was like, next year I'm gonna do it, and everybody just kept talking
mhm.
about it. But yeah, it's gonna be inside, except for, I mean, hopefully, except for one outdoor event. But we had a swim at the last competition I did, and if you don't swim often, you think that you're like good at it, and it was hard. I thought I was gonna drown at some point.
I mean, that's
Like
not funny because 'cause I'm glad you didn't, but
it was hard, and we had to even practice it in a pool. And I think like our adrenaline was just going, so we were going faster. And I was like halfway down the length of the pool, and I was like just doing anything I could to stay afloat. So we'll see how the ocean
have you
goes.
been practicing?
No,
No. Okay.
absolutely not. I maybe like after we get done with this thing next week, we'll start to swim or something more often because it's really good for you too. I just don't love it, but we have
Mhm,
access to all the pools and obviously the ocean down here, so I should do it more than I do.
mhm.
So that's one of my goals. Now that I'm saying it, I'm gonna swim more.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Just gonna swim more, swim in the ocean.
Yep,
I would like to go swim with sharks. So,
I would not.
Well, we
There
did
is
for that.
like 45 minutes north of here, Jupiter, Florida. We were just there this
Mhm.
weekend, is known to having a lot of sharks. So you wouldn't be like supervised, like a cage dive, but if you wanted to swim with sharks, like if you go swim on the beach of Jupiter, like your odds are pretty good.
Perfect.
So if you ever come here, I'll take you there and you can just hope
Great.
for the best.
Just jump in. Hashtag responsible. Okay. Well, what is a piece of advice that has deeply influenced you? Or what advice would you offer to your younger self?
I saw this isn't necessarily something that's influenced me, but I saw this quote, I think on like an Instagram reel or I don't know. I was surfing around the web somewhere earlier this week and it kept saying effort is a choice. And like this whole week that has like really stuck with me. Like for me personally and what I am doing and the effort that I'm putting into my career and my own training. But like I think that can translate to like other people in their careers, no matter if you're in fitness or marketing or whatever the case is. If you are unhappy with something, like I think it's really good to reflect on maybe where your effort levels are and like some things are okay to say like I'm not putting any effort towards this or very little and that's okay, but sometimes that's also really hard to say. If you're about to get fired from your job and you think your boss hates you, it's am I giving my best effort? Am I truly giving my best effort or am I just not giving effort anymore?
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
so like I've been thinking about that a lot and the things that I do is like today I did a really hard workout and I'm like I can either like kind of sandbag it and be mediocre, or I
Mhm.
can really put forth my best effort because I don't always do that sometimes and I think that is something I'm going to use going forward for again my own personal career and training is like evaluating my effort.
That's a good one.
Does that make sense what I
Yeah.
just said?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's kind of along the same lines as one of my favorite quotes or whatever is choose your hard because
Yep.
everything is hard. So
Yep.
choose how much effort. You have to put in effort. So like
Right.
how much are you going to put in?
I think too, like it is so hard for people. Like it is okay to say. Same with priorities. Like people say, I don't have time to work out, and it's okay. Well, do you watch Netflix for 2 hours a night? But it's
Mhm.
much harder to say it's just not a priority because like it makes you feel
Mhm.
bad because you think it should be a priority. But like sometimes it's just like a hard truth to say out loud. Sometimes like about your effort or your priorities or whatever the case may be, because then you kind of have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. That is the worst.
Yes, we all do it. Everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Yeah. And that also would require some self-reflection and some like
Yep.
hard acknowledgments of life.
Yep.
So, but if you do it, could result in making better life choices.
Yep.
You never know.
Sometimes. Yeah, you never know.
Well, this is going to be a good one for you to talk about since we've talked about fitness. And I think it's good, will be good for people to hear. But how do you keep yourself motivated and inspired day to day?
I think that's like a big misconception of people who are like fit or fitness influencers, whoever, like the people you see on social media that are like really killing it is like I'm going to say we and group myself into that category. I
Mhm.
don't necessarily, that's true, but like most days we are absolutely not motivated. I think it's more so like the discipline and like the
Mhm.
routines that we instilled into ourselves. And I tell everybody all the time if you can't make it to the gym, it's like you schedule time to eat, you schedule time to go to work, you schedule time to pick your kids up or whatever the case may be. You just need to schedule it and make it a part of your everyday routine to the point where it's just something that you do. You don't have to think about it. Like when I used to be working, I like in at Target, I would go to work every day. I'd come home, let the dogs out, change, go straight to the gym. I don't give myself time to sit down
Mhm.
because the second I sit down, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm kind of sleepy. I might try to take a nap. And I like give myself that little bit of time to like second guess myself if I really want to go. So I just change my clothes and go. But like for me personally, especially lately, like I have been struggling a lot with nutrition, like holding myself accountable, do really well throughout the week. I'm sure most people can relate. Then the weekend comes, you do like social things. So I'm
Mhm.
like having to figure out how to stay motivated or disciplined in that area. But as far as going to the gym and like working out, like I know how much better I feel afterwards. And that is what keeps me motivated. And I work out next to people every day. So if I don't go, I'm like,
Mhm.
dang, I just saw their score. Like I saw they were doing something cool on Instagram. Like I should have gone today. I also have the fear of
Mhm.
missing out. I have when it comes to that, but I also just really enjoy it. And that's the thing that I'm so
Mhm.
fortunate is that a lot of people don't find a part of fitness that like doesn't seem like a chore. And even if it's hard or something I'm going to suck at, I still have so much fun. And like the relationships that I've built, like I get to go hang out with my friends and we get a little sweaty
Mhm.
and do stuff. And then we get to hang out a little bit more. So I am fortunate that I just like truly enjoy it. So it doesn't seem like this thing I have to do every day. It's something that I get to do. And I really wish that like other people could find that because I think everybody would be a lot healthier and happier too. But we're not
And
motivated.
it no. And it helps that, your husband enjoys it, and your dad did it with you
Yep.
when he was down there.
He did one class twice in the same day. He did it with me and then he came and did it with Des later once Des got off work. He'll probably never do another CrossFit. It was like only like running and machine work, so he didn't have to lift weights or anything, but he killed it. Did
Mhm.
really well. And Des is enjoying it. I was like, if I'm gonna be all in, you gotta do this. So, and I was spending so much time there that we didn't get to spend a lot of time together, like at home, because like we were both at work today. Then like he was at a different gym until 8 o'clock at night. So I was like, at least we can like kind of hang out or see each other, even if I'm working. Like he's there working out. Now we have
Mhm.
some of the same friends and have built relationships with people, so we hang out with them outside, which has been cool too.
Was he into CrossFit when you met, or did you help bring him into that?
He was doing like a hit, like high intensity training
Mm.
gym down south a little bit in Boca. They did similar things. It was more so like stations in like a certain time frame. CrossFit type stuff, but not exactly the same. And he said he had done CrossFit like
Mhm.
years ago when he lived out in California, but it had definitely been like a long time. So I brought him with me on a Saturday, which is normally like a partner workout, which is what I did with you, I think. So
Yep.
it doesn't seem as scary. And then now, I mean, he loves it. It's really fun, especially like he competed for the first time and I competed the same
Mhm.
day, so we did it together, and it's been really cool.
Aw, that's so fun.
Yeah.
The fittest little couple. So
Oh
fun. Okay, well, we've got one more question before we hit the rapid fire questions,
boy. Okay.
which are like questions that I did not send you, and I don't know what
Okay.
it's just these
Oh, okay.
just this pack. So, last question, is there something you've always wanted to try but haven't tried yet?
Something I've wanted to try. I don't think as of right now there's anything like specific. I think the biggest thing, at least in my actual life, was like quitting corporate, doing something I really enjoy. So
Mhm.
I have put a big, huge check mark. Everything else is, just I eloped and married, and that was crazy and like a big thing. But outs like I don't have anything on my bucket list necessarily, but I would like to travel more. So it's not necessarily trying something
Mhm.
I have traveled, but like something that I would like to do in the future is just get back to traveling. I went to Thailand when China was shut down for COVID, and I was really
Mhm.
excited to like I had the travel bug internationally and then everything shut down and I have not made it back. I think I went to the Dominican once after that, but I would like to travel internationally
Mhm.
a lot more. So,
Maybe 2024 will be the year. All right, I'm gonna pull a card. We're gonna see. Okay, okay. And some of these questions, some of them can be deep, and some of them can be so stupid. First one is, how many best friends do you have?
oh god. I have no idea. I
You got some good friends. You got lots of good
I have,
friends.
I have great friends, but I have no idea to count how many.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
Who is the most competitive person you know?
off the top of my head, my friend Libby from here that goes to my gym.
Mhm. Okay.
Very competitive. and we will look at people's scores, and she's like hell bent on she'll kill herself to get the top score just to say that she did. So I will say her.
All right. How would your worst enemy describe you? Do you even have an enemy? I feel like you don't have enemies.
One of my old managers, I'm sure from my job, my old job, he I don't even know. He would not say nice things about me. That I'm not. So he is
Um,
my worst enemy. But yes,
yeah.
if you're listening,
Which piece of clothing do you no longer wear but can't throw away?
I have quite a few like vacation pieces that I bought off Shein as I was like traveling. And some of them are like I have some like sequin like long pants with some cutouts on the hip. Never wore it, but had every intention of wearing it like in Miami, and I still might. But it's been a couple years, still sitting in the closet. So I'm holding out hope.
Well, that wouldn't go along with an Adam Sandler themed birthday party, but
Oh,
you could make it work. Maybe
I
Haley's bachelorette party.
Yes. Yeah. Somewhere I will wear them if they still fit. Because they're very cute, but can't bring myself to wear them anywhere. So
Well, that's okay. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
best compliment I've received is not from anyone in particular, but like anybody who has worked for me when I was in management at either Target or Beyond Hello. Anybody who has told me that I have helped them in their career, or helped them be like a better either employee or manager, that really means a lot to me because that's all I really wanted as I was a manager, is to influence.
With the longest.
That's hard. I still have really good friends from childhood, but my best friend Taylor, who you've met, we've been friends since like 7th or 8th grade. That's been like a long lasting friendship. Again, we don't talk every day. She got married, 2 kids, lives in Missouri still, but like if I ever needed her, we still send social media posts of people asking if they've gotten a divorce or if we know what's going on in our hometown. But like, still my best friend. I don't know how long that's been. 16 years, maybe,
A long,
probably more. So
long
long
time.
time.
For this one, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, geez. Um, I did used to like. It's not that I dislike her. I just don't listen to her music now. But when she
Yeah.
first came out,
Yeah.
I really like Teardrops on My Guitar because I did listen to her then. But then I can't remember what it's called. I have no idea what album it's on, but it was like her techno song. It was like
And
I'd have to go back and try to
yeah,
find it, but it was like kind of techno, like EDM-y, had a bass drop something at some point. Probably not as extreme as I'm saying, but I'll have to find it and send it to you. But I can't remember what the
it's
song's
probably
called.
off Reputation, if I had to guess.
It was like
Did it have
probably
Kendrick Lamar
2000.
in it?
I don't remember.
Mm.
I'll go back and send it to you. But I
Okay.
don't have any. Those were like jams at one point of my life.
Yeah. Teardrops on My Guitar. I appreciate the throwback of that answer.
Or like curly
Well,
hair.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Baby Taylor.
Yep.
Well, thank you for joining me and taking time. You have a very busy schedule, so I appreciate it.
I have this is every day. This is like my nap time. I like usually coach or train in the morning, and then I have a couple hours before I have to go back in the evening. So this is like my. I'm always free usually at this time, and the dogs are
Well, I
asleep.
appreciate you giving up your nap time.
Of course, anything for you. I was so happy. I'm like, finally, she asks me to be on this podcast.
Well, I had to wait for a special moment and the return of the podcast. I took a couple week break and the return got a return
Love
with
it.
Caitlin.
Love it.
And I had to figure out how to do this virtually.
It was fine. It was well. I mean, I don't know what it looks like on your end after we end this, but it was good.
Yeah, it'll be fine. You already told people where they can find you.
Yep.
Instagram. So yeah, everyone go follow her, please. She's
I feel
she
the.
I feel like
Oh,
you're very motivational for other people.
thank you. I try. It's every time you, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like when you post content, is this stupid? Should I post this
Mhm.
anyway? And then like one person will message you and be like, I actually really appreciate this. You're like, my job's done. That's all. You just need one person. So,
Yep. Yep. And it's if you enjoy it, just post it. That's where I'm
yeah.
at. Just post
Yep.
it.
Yep. That's fair.
Who cares? All right, well, I'll let you go and I will see you later.